is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon. Here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. A teenager considered to be armed and dangerous is on the loose this afternoon, and police are looking for your help. They're looking for 19-year-old Antonio Parkhurst. He's wanted after a shooting in Bemidji on Tuesday that seriously injured a 17-year-old. Police worked with witnesses and went through surveillance footage to identify Parkhurst, as well as a juvenile who's already been arrested. If you have any information on where he might be, call Bemidji Police Detectives at 218-333-9111. This afternoon, fire marshals are working to figure out what led to a house fire earlier today in Dilworth. It happened around 7:30 this morning at 801 7th Street Northeast. There was one person inside at the time. That man was taken to a hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation. Firefighters tell us they had problems maneuvering inside the home, saying the house was packed with items and it was difficult to move around. In Grand Forks, police say a suspect featured in their weekly wanted post is now in custody. Marco Polo was arrested in Fargo by the U.S. Marshal Service's High Plains Fugitive Task Force and Metro Street Crimes Unit. He was wanted for unlawful possession of a firearm and possession of meth with intent to deliver. And former officer Derek Chauvin now faces a third-degree murder charge in the death of George Floyd. The judge overseeing the trial reinstating that charge today after previously dismissing it. Jury selection started Tuesday on charges of second-degree murder and manslaughter. That wraps up today's top 4 at 4. Now here's a first look at our weather with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson.
Stacy, thanks so much, and good Thursday afternoon, everyone. A look at some snowfall totals from across the region from yesterday's mess. That storm system dumped the heaviest snow not far from Fargo. Look at Windmere, 8 inches reported there, 7.2 in the Lake Park area, 2 just off to the east on Highway 10 area. Barrett and Bemidji both at 6.5 inches. Deer Creek, 7.4 inches, and nearly 10 inches in Wadena, after the system brought about 2.5 inches or so, give or take, to the Fargo-Moorhead area, with higher amounts just to our east in Hawley. Tonight, we're not worried about snowflakes. In fact, we just have a few clouds to worry about. It's the temperature that is going to be diving. There's a cold air pool up by Winnipeg that is sneaking its way down. We have mid-20s in Hallock and Badette, 30 in Roseau, 33 this hour in Bemidji. Temperatures are a little warmer down to the south, 43 in Sisseton, and Fargo's planner shows that this evening, by the time we head to bed, we're expecting temperatures to be slipping well into those mid-20s on our way to a chilly Friday morning. But I have great news on a warming trend as we head right into your weekend. We'll have details on that, and we'll look ahead into next week here in just a couple of moments.
We made it through another one. Thanks,
somehow.
Yeah. Well, you could be getting your coronavirus vaccine from your local CVS soon. Today, the pharmacy added stores in a dozen more states to the federal retail pharmacy program, including North Dakota and Minnesota. Appointments will be available on the CVS website starting this Saturday, and you could get your shot as soon as Sunday. Today marked the second day of what officials call a vaccination blitz, getting more than 2,000 COVID vaccine doses into the arms of teachers with both West Fargo and Fargo public schools. The vaccinations come almost exactly 1 year after schools everywhere shut down as the pandemic exploded in the U.S. Timing 2 local teachers tell Valley News Live brings a sigh of relief.
So to navigate this part a year later and be able to have emotions that are more positive and being hopeful for the future and excited and making steps toward, again, having kids in person is awesome. And so being able to ensure that is just a really good feeling.
Fargo Public School says students will go back to distance learning again on March 31st and April 1st so teachers can get their second dose of the vaccine. West Fargo Schools has not yet announced their plans. Sanford Health says their vaccine distribution is ramping up over the next 2 weeks. This week, Sanford is receiving 2,000 Johnson & Johnson doses. Over the next 2 weeks, Sanford will receive between 3,000 to 3,500. That vaccine only requires 1 shot and therefore can immunize more people quickly. As Sanford receives more doses, Dr. Doug Griffin says it brings the state closer to the finish line in the race to get everyone vaccinated.
I think it is kind of a little bit of a race that we kind of get more and more people vaccinated before some variant of some side can really take hold and take off. I think we probably will see some areas of surges here and there. It could be in populations that are unvaccinated.
As of right now, 75% of Sanford employees are vaccinated. Their goal is 90%. For the state as a whole, the current goal is 75%. Right now, about 20% of North Dakotans are vaccinated. Former presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and their respective former first ladies are part of a newly released ad campaign urging Americans to get the vaccine. There are 2 ads. This one shows them all receiving their shots.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
So roll up your sleeve and do your part.
This is our shot.
Now it's up to you.
More than 90 million doses have so far been administered across the country. Some good news for those with a loved one in a nursing home. You can finally give them a hug. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services updated its policy guidance to allow indoor visits with fully vaccinated residents. The change comes after COVID cases and deaths in long-term care facilities have dropped significantly in recent weeks. The ban on indoor visits went into effect nearly a year ago. According to the COVID Tracking Project, nursing home residents account for 1/3 of COVID deaths in the U.S. If you've already had COVID, you may need just 1 dose of the vaccine. That's according to new research from New York's Mount Sinai Hospital. The study included more than 100 people, both with and without a prior coronavirus infection. Within days after receiving the first dose of the vaccine, former COVID patients developed antibodies at a rate 10 to 20 times higher than those who had never been infected. Antibody production was more than 10 times higher after the second dose. To stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information, use our VNL vaccine tracker. Visit our website or open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. Tonight, President Biden will deliver his first primetime address to the nation since taking office. The president is marking the 1-year anniversary since the coronavirus was declared a pandemic and the country began shutting down. Skylar Henry has the latest from Capitol Hill.
So, thank you for being here.
President Biden signed his American Rescue Plan into law Thursday afternoon.
The people out there made it clear they strongly support the American Rescue Plan.
The package includes $1,400 stimulus checks for a majority of Americans, as well as support for a national vaccination program and money for schools to reopen.
This historic legislation is about rebuilding the backbone of this country and giving people in this nation, working people, middle-class folks, people who built the country, a fighting chance.
President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris are planning to visit different parts of the country to sell the nearly $2 trillion package to the American public. This evening, the president will mark the 1-year anniversary of the coronavirus pandemic by remembering the nearly 530,000 American lives lost and looking ahead to the future.
I'm going to have a lot more to say about that tonight and the next couple days.
Wednesday, the White House announced the purchase of 100 million more vaccine doses, providing hope in the fight against the virus.
I am ready to get back to some normalcy.
As we hit the anniversary, schools are reopening. Businesses are letting in more customers, and states are lifting restrictions. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
A new CBS News poll shows 75% of Americans surveyed, including 46% of Republicans, approve of the American Rescue Plan that President Biden signed into law. Tonight on Valley News Live at 6, a single mom in Fargo was told to abort her baby with Down syndrome after getting a prenatal diagnosis. She kept her baby, and now she's fighting for a better life for her daughter with the help of Gigi's Playhouse, a Down Syndrome Achievement Center. We'll hear her courageous story tonight at 6. Tonight is also the I Have a Voice Gala for Gigi's. It's the 4th annual fundraising event, but the first time it's ever gone virtual. Valley News teams Jordan Schreier and Lisa Boudreau are emceeing tonight's event, which starts at 7:30. If you'd like to get a ticket or make a donation, head to gigisfargo.org. Coming up on Valley News Live at 4, what politicians in Britain are now demanding after Prince Harry and Meghan open up to Oprah.
And we're enjoying a lot quieter weather than yesterday at this time. I'll have details on a nice warming trend carrying us into the close of our work week and beyond. Coming up, I'll have those details. Join me. Weather is next.